Montage.
So we're streaming now.
Hello and welcome again. I am Jenny and I am the moderator of today's webinar. Our webinar today is all about traffic light. We will learn the correct order and timing of instructions by using Runlinc online. This webinar is brought to you all by Malaysian STEM Teachers Associations, MASTA, in collaboration with Stemsel Foundations from Adelaide, Australia. Before we start, let me explain on how you can communicate with us during the webinar. If you have any questions during the presentations, just write them in the chat column. We will have a Q&A sessions at the end of our meet today to answer your questions. Now, let's begin. We are pleased to welcome our special guest, Prof. Miro, Chief Technical Officer of Stemsel Foundations, in focusing on AI social business startups, Pro-Vice Chancellor of Central University Institute of Development in Canberra. He is the inventor of Runlinc code of programming. So, with pleasure, let me welcome Prof. Miro. Welcome, Prof. Miro. We are so glad to have you could be here today to introduce on the traffic lights with the Runlinc. This floor is up to you. Now let's begin.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. So hello again from Adelaide, Australia. We have quite a windy, wet evening here. So I hope the noises don't become too loud outside as well. So that's good. So today, yes, we will be doing the traffic lights project, which is an extension of the project last week. Okay, this time we'll be looking at the timing. So let's open our project A3 this time. So I'll share the project A3. Just as an overview, the project A3 we will go through, first of all, like we did last week, to show how we can do the timing between the pictures. And this time there will be 3 pictures for the traffic lights. And then we will actually do the graphics. So we'll show how you can create rectangles and circles and control those as well on the web page. Yeah. And then I will actually then open my phone camera and I will get someone there to control my Runlinc kit, and we'll see how it's also done on the kit. And you'll be surprised that even on the kit, it is actually even simpler than doing it the other way as well. So we'll go through those steps today. Okay, let's open the document. Let's share the document. So this is the PDF document that we have. Okay, so let's take a closer look. It just move some things. Okay, so we're using the online Runlinc again. Okay, to put things in the correct order are actually critical. Okay, so today we're talking about traffic lights. What if someone that actually put in the code in the traffic lights got the order wrong? What would actually happen? What do you think would happen on the traffic lights? Well,
accident.
There would be a big accident. So it's very critical that the order of the timing and the order is actually correct on the traffic lights. Okay, so we'll take a look at that, and we're going to use Runlinc Online to do that as well. Okay, so the traffic lights, of course, are an example where microchips tell the people what to do. Is that right? Yes, they do. Okay. Sometimes we need that for our own safety. Okay, so we have warning lights, we have traffic lights, we have alarms, we have many things like that that are good for our safety. So in this case, it keeps everyone safe on the road, on the intersection. And we have to also obey those by law. Okay, also the timing is also correct, because if the timing was, for example, only 1 second for the green cars to go through, then that would also be too hard as well. Okay, so also there are many other things on the traffic lights. Today we'll keep it simple, simply with the 3 lights. But of course, there are other lights as well. We can think of the pedestrians going across the road. We can also think of the intersection. There is traffic going one way and there is traffic going the other way. So there's actually at least 2 sets of lights that need to be there, and also on both directions. So there are quite a few things on the traffic lights. And in fact, usually in most traffic lights, there is even sensors for the cars, sometimes lights for turning, and many others as well. Okay, so how long should that be for? So first of all, we do need to have a plan. And has anybody thought about why the traffic lights are in a certain order? And also that the traffic lights are actually different in different countries. Some countries, for example, have a yellow light even before you actually go. Okay, just to show a warning as well. But in Australia, our traffic lights actually have red traffic light on top. Why did they put red on top? Well, because also red is the most important color, it needs to be most visible. So this is also engineering, the red color on top. And then we have the yellow light and we have the green light, okay? But if the red light is on, which one turns next? Not the yellow light. It has to be the green light, because you stopped and then it will actually go, the green, and then you will have the yellow and the red. It needs to have the right sequence. So the correct sequence of lights is green to yellow to red, and then of course back to green again. So in Australia, the law states that the yellow light should be on for at least 3 seconds so that there is warning. And so if we then turn on the green light for 7 seconds after the yellow, then how long should the red light be on for? If you think about the intersection, then you have to wait for the other cars to become green and then to become yellow so that they stop, so that this one can become green. So we have then the maths is basically to add the green and the yellow, because this is when the red ones actually wait. So the red light then will be on for 10 seconds, okay? So the green is going, and then for 7, and then it's also slowing down for 3, and this one here then is waiting for the 10 seconds, okay? So that's why that maths is like that. Okay, so we have the Runlinc. We're using the Runlinc Internet of Things, and we will also show how it can also be done both online and also on the kit. Okay, in the HTML, we are going to show a picture of the kit with the 3 LEDs on there. So if we then follow the HTML, we have here the heading, which is traffic lights. We have an image of the picture with the green lights. Okay, so we'll do that. We'll put those in. So we'll copy those and put them into the Runlinc. So we'll stop share. We'll open the Runlinc page. Just make sure the Runlinc page is open. Some trouble with share. Okay, so here is our Runlinc page. So we can actually add that to the HTML. If we paste HTML traffic lights, then we have an image of the lights. And we can check that code again. So we can press the run code and we can check if we get an image of the traffic lights on the kit. So in this case, we have the green light, which is on, the yellow and the red. Okay, but how do we activate it so we change pictures? Not just by clicking a button like last week, but just with the timing so that it becomes green and then yellow and then red, just like our plan. So let's go back to the code and have a look. So if we go back, then we can go back and see that, first of all, we need to have the three pictures, the functions. Last week we had on, off buttons. So we had the function on and we had the function off. This time we can simply change the picture so that it becomes, the green becomes on, the green picture, and then the yellow picture, and then the red picture here as well. Okay. Then we have another function, which is the animate function. And what this does is it does the timing. Okay, so how it does the timing is that when you actually have a function and you have a time, such as the 3000 at the end of the function, okay, then we can actually delay the timing for the 3000. 3000 is 3 milliseconds, so it's 3 seconds, and the 7 is 7 seconds. Okay, so these functions are actually set so that first of all, we need to, it will actually set the, it will set the green first, okay, and then it will set the yellow, and then it will set the red. So the green will come on first, and then after the 7 seconds, the yellow will come on, and then after the 3 seconds, the red will come on. So that's how that animate function actually operates. Okay, and then we actually set an interval for it to continue to animate over here as well. So we have an interval here of the 20 seconds so that it actually goes through, and it will actually then also repeat on the animation. Okay. And also we have a set timeout function, which will wait for 3 seconds before running the code. Okay, so we need to okay, this last one here is only an example, okay? So this is the example of how this works. So when we have the timeout on a function, then this part of the code will only run after the 3 seconds. So this is not part of the project we're doing today. This is an example of how the timeout function actually works. So let's go and then and put this code, which we have described. So our pictures and our timing function. So we will put that then into the JavaScript.
Myro, I have a question. Why we don't need to put timer for red color?
Okay, because there is the green first, and then there is a delay, and then there is the yellow, and then there is a delay, and then after that yellow, then the red will turn on. And that red will stay on until the repeat function actually happens. So that's why there's not a delay after that, because the delay is actually until the repeat then starts again with the green. So that is how that actually works. Having trouble again with my sharing. Let me try again. Okay, here we are. Okay, so here we are. This is the Runlinc again, and we can stop the code, put the JavaScript in, and of course you can pull the JavaScript down so you can see it much easier as well. Okay, and it is okay also to have some spaces. So in this case, everything is a little bit together. So let's just space it out. And then let's see if the code actually executes. So if we run the code in this case, then we have the green light on for the 7 seconds, the yellow light for the 3 seconds, and then the red light will actually need to be on for the 10 seconds in this case. And then it will actually repeat back on. So we can see that actually happening. All right, so this is a picture of the kit, but later on we will also see the actual kit on there as well. And I will show you a surprise as well, because we actually have the kit, Runlinc on the kit actually has a simplification for this as well. So to use the kit, there's actually a simpler way to do this too, which I will show you. Okay, but what we're going to do now is actually do an extension. So we're going to extend this so that instead of using the pictures, we have the 3 pictures. These pictures are actually located on the Runlinc website, okay? And as I have pointed out before, if you want to do a similar project and use other pictures from a different location, then the code will actually work. Or if you take your own pictures and put it up, so there are sites that will actually take your pictures, and then you can refer to them by a web link. Then you can put that also into your code to change pictures. Okay, let's go back. And now what we will do is, what we want to do is actually do a picture of some traffic lights. So last week we did 2 circles. So an on circle and off circle. Okay, we changed the color inside the circle. But this time we need to actually have 3 circles, and then we also need to show that it looks like traffic lights. So let's go back to the document. Okay, here is the document. And we've seen the final code, the final web page. So the challenge is to actually use the HTML graphics instead of the images. So the code that we have, we're using the SVG again. So this part here actually shows how large the height and the width of the graphic window which we have in the SVG. Then we will actually create a rectangle. So RECT is rectangle. The height of the rectangle is 300. And then we have a width of 100 and Okay. And we have an X and Y position as to where we actually place the rectangle within this square. Okay, so this is the X and the Y position of the top left of the rectangle, and this rectangle will then extend down from here. Okay, so coordinates again. And then we have a circle. Okay, in this case, we're going to identify it as ID R for red. The location of the circle CX and CY is 50. We have a radius of the circle which is 40. We will have a black line around the circle, and this will be 3. And we will fill the circle with a color which says fire brick, okay, in this case. What I want to do is actually change this so it becomes dark gray. Okay, so we could use fire brick, which is like a very dark red, but what I want to do is actually create 3 circles and we'll just have them as dark gray. So we'll change that. Let's see what happens when we put that in so that we can have a look at the graphics so far. So we'll copy that in.
Myro.
Yes.
I tried to copy the JavaScript and put it on the Runlinc programming, but it doesn't function, the traffic light. Just wonder what's the meaning by remember it needs to go between the script text.
No, it doesn't need to go between the script text. It actually needs to go in the JavaScript box. The JavaScript box.
We just copy and paste it at the HTML box, right?
So the HTML goes in the HTML box, and then the JavaScript needs to go into the JavaScript box, just like I've shown you just now. Okay.
But in the manual, it shows that the script is in the HTML box.
The script actually needs to be in the JavaScript box. So you can see my screen. So the script should be in the JavaScript box. Okay.
Okay.
Maybe we'll change this document because I think there was some script maybe in the HTML which might be confusing, but actually the JavaScript should go into the JavaScript box. Okay.
All
right. So just make that clear. The JavaScript on Runlinc should go into that box. The script tag actually in HTML allows JavaScript to be in a HTML box, but that is actually quite confusing. So we should always try to put the JavaScript in the JavaScript box. Okay, let me change the HTML to the one with the graphics. I'm going to paste that in, and then let's just take a look at that, what that looks like when we run it. So when we run the code, you see that we have the rectangle, okay, with the curved radius, that's the CXCY, and we also have the circle in the location there as well. Okay, that is actually the fire brick color. What we will do is I'm going to actually change that to dark gray. Okay, because we're going to use dark gray actually for everything that's off. So let's take a look at that again. And you can see that it's actually gray. There's no color there. Okay. All right, so let's go back and see what we need to do next. So if you take a look at the document does not actually give you the full code, but you see that what we have is we have the rectangle, we have the circle, and then we also need to have 2 more circles in there as well. So we also need to have circles for the yellow and the green lights.
Yeah.
Okay, and then we also need to give each of them a unique ID as well. So we need to make sure that they are placed correctly and that the dark lights also look like they're turned off. Okay, so it has a hint here, change the CY value for positioning. So the CY is the up and down. So we need to actually change the position of this circle so that it will go below, and we will have the red, the yellow, and the green. Okay, so let's go back and take a look at how we do that. It's not too hard, so that we can guide you with that.
We have to insert another 2 more circle, right?
Yes, that's right. Was my screen sharing just then? No, it wasn't, maybe. Okay. Let me go back and share. So that's sharing at the moment. Yes. Okay, so we need to insert 2 more circles. We need to insert, so we'll copy this circle. Okay, and then we will insert another circle, paste. Okay, and in this case, we were going to have an ID for the circle to be yellow, Y for yellow. But we want to change the position of the circle. Instead of 50-50, we need it to go down another 100. So this one will be 150. Okay, it will be down 150. Okay, and then we need a third circle, which will be our green circle, and we will do similar. Down 150. Okay, and then so we'll then also put a green circle, and we will change the position of that one to 250 so that we have the original circle. We have another one which is down 100, and then another one which is further down 100, so that when we run the code, then you can see that there are 3 circles that are positioned evenly down the traffic lights. Okay, and they're all grey, they don't have their on color. Okay, but the traffic light is still not complete because we have the top of the traffic light, but we don't have the end of the traffic light. So in the document, it does give you some guide as to how to do this as well. So if we go down, then we also, as it says, we also need to have a pole. So we need to add another rectangle. So the height of the rectangle needs to be 500, and then the width 25, needs to have a grey fill. The Y position is 300 and the X position is 35. So I cannot remember that when I'm changing screens, so I'm going to copy that just so that I can see it on the screen. And then let's share the Runlinc again. Okay, so we need to have a rectangle which is similar to this one. So I'm not going to do a copy because I just wanted to paste my own instructions in there. Now I can do a copy between the SVG. So this rectangle actually needs to be copied, but we're going to change the rectangle. Okay, so the height now needs to be 500. Okay, and the width, we're going to have 25 because it's a narrow pole. We're going to have a grey fill in there as well. So we need to put a fill at the end, just like the circle fill. If we type in fill equals grey, put a quotation mark like this. Okay, just like this one here, similar to the circle. And the X position, which will actually be, so we don't need to have the radius. Rx and Ry was the curve on our traffic lights, so we don't need any curves. So we'll delete that one. But we need to have an X and a Y position, okay, similar to this. So we're just constructing our new rectangle for the pole, and the Y position is 300 and the X position is 35. Okay, so I'm doing this carefully because this is the challenge, okay, because we're not just asking you to cut and paste, we're asking you to actually try to change this yourself so that you can put in the correct instructions. Okay, so press the stop code and run code, and my pole is in the wrong position. So it needs to be down, looks like it needs to be down 300. Okay, so let me change that so that we'll start at 600 and then try again. You can change your positions. Stop code, run code. Okay. Let me have a look. Okay, CX is 35, CY is 600. Looks correct. Getting the right. Okay, so we'll need okay, so let's create, finish that SVG and create a new SVG underneath. We can copy this one. Okay, and just check the position. Okay, let's try that. Okay, the reason it was next to each other is because it doesn't actually go down unless we do this. We need to actually put in a BR to push it down to the next line. So if I run code, okay, we need to, so you'll need to actually play with that position. I don't have time to play with that position at the moment, but okay, put in another rectangle. There's a extra challenge for you. So once we have that, then we will, and what I'll do then is I might post that extra code as well for the poll, okay, a little bit later, just so that I don't waste time. But I will also show you how to animate that as well. So we need to actually change the colors now inside those circles. We now have the ID R, we have the ID Y, and we have the ID G. So we need to change the pictures. So if you go back to the document, then we can see on the document, here it is. Okay, that we can use this type of code that we can actually change. Similar to the circle that we did last week, we can actually change the element G, for example, for the green. So let's copy that and go back to the Runlinc. And we need to then have the green, and we change this part so that we actually have the green, and then the style fill actually goes to light green. And similarly, we need to change the other ones. So the yellow one, for example, we would copy that. We would put it here. Okay, and this time it needs to be the yellow. And we would have yellow. Again, like I said last week, many of these things depends on the age of your class. So whether you do this extension maybe with some older students, but the first part then with some younger students, that's up to you as to how far you wish to go with these as well. Okay, some of the older students may even want to actually add some more graphics there as well. Okay, so let's also change the red. And then we'll change this color to red. Okay, now, if we just did that, then do you think it would work? Let's run it, because there is actually a problem. Let's have a look as to what it does, because there is something else that we need to do. Okay, so press the run code, and you see the green actually turns on. Okay, and then the yellow turns on for 3 seconds, and then the red turns on. So what is the problem? Problem is that all of the lights stay on. We have not actually asked the lights to turn off.
Yeah.
Okay, so that is what we need to change. We also need to add code so that the lights also turn off. So how do we do that? Then we need to add and make sure that all of the lights are off. So after, when the green actually turns on, then we need the red to turn off. Okay, so we would copy that one underneath and make sure that that one actually turns off at the same time. So copy, paste, and so the red one would actually then become dark gray again. Or you can choose your colors as well for this, for your display. And the yellow, when does the yellow turn on? Turns on after the green. So then we need to make sure that the green actually turns off as well. So when you see traffic lights, it doesn't just do one thing. It actually turns off one light and turns on the other light as well. So in this case, the green then needs to become dark gray. Okay, and then the red. When does the red turn on? Turns on after the yellow. So similarly, the yellow needs to turn on dark gray. Okay, when we're actually doing LEDs on the kit, we have to keep this in mind as well. That we need to turn things off. Okay, now when the green turns on, the red turns off. When the yellow turns on, then the last one, the green turns off, the red is on, and the yellow is off. So let's see if we have some traffic lights which will change correctly. We have the green light, the 7 seconds. Then we have yellow, that one turned off, which is good. That one turned off, which is good. So then the red, and then that should also turn off when it goes back to the green. Okay, correct. Okay, very good. So keep that in mind, that you also need to turn off as well as the on. All right, so there we are. We can do the shapes. One thing I need to point out as well is that we did a black shape, and then we put a black rectangle, and we put a circle over the top. So that means we can actually put shapes over the top. So if we put other shapes over the top, then that will actually be, depends on the sequence of when we put the shape. So we put the rectangle first, then we put the circles. Okay, then the circles will be on top. If we put the circles first and then the rectangle would block the circles because it would be over the top. So we need to also make sure that the order of our instructions of how we construct the shapes is also correct. So the order today is correct for our instructions. This is something we need to remember for all of our instructions. Okay, very good. So now let's go to the part where I will actually connect my camera. So who is going to open my Runlinc page today? I would like to actually share it with someone here on the Zoom. So who's going to open it today? I need to volunteer quickly so that I can share the link. And I will guide the person through. And believe me, it won't be too hard. Won't take too long. So, not getting any volunteers. Might have to ask maybe Sue Hiley to do it, or Zaki. Who would like to do this for me on their side?
I follow all your instruction, but my traffic lights doesn't function well.
Okay,
the light
let's-
doesn't turn I mean according to the colors, but traffic light is there.
Okay, that sounds all right. Maybe you'll have to have another look at this recording again.
Okay. All right.
And I will also be posting the solution as well, the full solution also to the group. So I will share with you, also open another tab, and I will share with you the actual link to my kits. Okay, so if you open this Runlinc page, it is not the online Runlinc page, it is actually the shared Runlinc page to my kit. So what I will do now is I'm going to connect with my phone so that everyone can actually see what is happening. Okay. So let me just do that quickly. Okay, can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I'll get rid of that echo. All right, there we are. All right, very good. So now, Suhaili, you've opened that page, have you? Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, very good. So let me just turn this around. So it is. It looks the same, the Runlinc version 1.1, but this time when the page is open, it's actually opened on the Wi-Fi chip here in Australia. And I have prepared this kit with 3 connections. So I have a green, yellow, and red LED, and they are connected also to the ports. And I've used a simple screwdriver here. So the screwdriver actually then would connect to the wires. Okay, so the red one is connected to C4. So if you could go please to C4 and
C4.
then select the digital out.
Okay.
Okay, and you'll notice that mine's not connected. Yours is connected, C4 digital out. Okay, and if you could also just type in the word red into there. That's the red LED.
All right. Done.
And then on the C5, I have the yellow. So do a digital out and type in the yellow.
All right. Done.
And on the C6, I have the green LED. So similar for, I've attached the green LED
All right.
for C6.
The status is all off, right?
The status is all off. So all of
Yes.
the LEDs are off at the moment.
All right.
And if we wish to actually check those LEDs, then you can click those. So if you want to click the red just to see whether the red works.
Oh,
Yes, it
okay.
does.
It's
Very good.
turning on.
Try clicking the yellow one.
Okay.
And
All right.
what about the green one?
Okay.
Okay,
Function.
very good. So you can turn them back off. Very
One by
good.
one.
So we will create some code then to make it automatic. And in this case, you can go to the JavaScript loop.
All right.
So in the JavaScript loop, you can simply select macro. Okay, so select macro and then do a turn on, and then
Okay.
select the device. And the device that we will turn on first will be the green. We turn on the green first, put the cursor here and press the add macro button, and we have turn on green.
Yes, done.
Okay, but now remember, that when we did our sequence on the graphics, remember we had to turn off the other one. So when we normally turn on the green, then the red will also need to turn off. So you better do that. Also select the turn off and then put in the red and put that underneath the turn on green. Okay.
All right.
Okay, now how do we create a delay? Well, this is where is the surprise, because in the kit, you can actually do this. You can actually use a function which is an await function, which is a simple delay. Put that underneath the turn off and press add macro. 1000 is actually 1 second. How long do we want to delay until the next instruction? The green we said was going to be for 7 seconds, so change it to 7,000.
All right, done.
Okay, and now the others will be similar. So then we would turn on then the yellow LED. So select turn on yellow, add macro. Underneath then turn off the last one, select the turn off green. And then add macro. And also we can put some spacing on here as well. So we might want to put some spacing. This is the green and this is the yellow. How long do we wait for the yellow to stay on? We put another await, add macro, and the yellow was for 3 seconds. Remember, 3 seconds. Okay, and similar, we would also have similar then for the red. So turn on the red, select the red, add macro, turn off the yellow, select, click, add macro, and then we also put in the await. So await milliseconds, and I'm sure you know that that's actually 10, so you need to put in the 10,000. Okay,
All right.
so do you have the whole thing? You also have the last await in yours?
Oh, wait. Okay, 10,000 seconds.
10,000 seconds.
Yes, I just copy from the above.
Okay, sure.
All right.
That's okay. But put 10,000 seconds in there.
Right. Yeah,
And
10,000.
then go and press your run code. Okay, and then we'll see what happens with our LEDs over here in Australia.
Okay, push a run code.
Yeah, push the run code.
Okay. The green is on.
Yes, the green is on.
The others is
Okay.
or yellow after a few seconds, yellow, and then after a few seconds, red is on.
Yeah,
The rest is off. Yes, correct.
that's good. Okay. All right,
Oh.
and then it went back to the green. Why?
Right.
Because the JavaScript is actually in a loop. So this means that this will actually repeat. That's what the JavaScript loop is for. That will it will repeat. So so Hailey, I'll just
Yes.
turn around my video, but can you share your screen with everyone so that also they can see what your Runlinc page looks like when the lights are actually changing? Maybe I'll do that again.
Can you see my screen?
I can see your screen now.
Yes. Yes, this is my
That's
screen.
good. Okay. So on your Runlinc page, you can see that the status actually shows that the red is on, and it is actually indeed on here in Australia, and then the green is on here, and the yellow here is on as well. Okay, so you can actually see on the page the status changing as it goes as well. Okay, thank you very much.
Yes. Thank you.
Very good. Thank you for helping me being my assistant today. The Runlinc can work
Are you doing your class, please?
long time.
I'm doing. I don't know that much.
La 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 la.
Okay, very good. So you can stop your sharing,
All right.
and I'll change over to the other screen.
All right. So Myro, after connecting with the kids, we no need to type anything to the script, JavaScript, HTML, right?
The JavaScript loop is actually the JavaScript. In the HTML, we did not put anything because we did not create a web page for this, because we're just using the LEDs in this case on the kit. So if we wanted the HTML to follow something as well, then we would add some HTML and then also add some JavaScript also to that, so that it would maybe change your website as well at the same time. Okay, so we could use the similar JavaScript from before. So I covered quite a few things. And so is there any questions on what I have gone through today?
This is a single traffic light, right?
This is a single traffic light, that's
Yeah.
right. So if we wanted to have more traffic lights, then we could also have another output, for example, on the kit, and we could connect that so that the first three would then start the sequence on the other one as well, for example, because they need to be sequenced together, all right? Or the kit can actually connect. We do have enough connectors there to have 3 more outputs there as well. If we connect in more LEDs, we can use the same kit as well. So, so that while one traffic light is red, then the other one goes green and yellow. So this is even more complicated. So this would be an exercise maybe also for the students. And of course, then the students can also create models. So if they have the kit, then they can actually build a traffic light if they have a kit. Or if they don't, then maybe they can also have 2 computers. And then later we'll also show you how you can link one Runlinc page to another Runlinc page as well. So not today, but I will show you that the Runlinc can also connect. Even the online Runlinc can actually send a signal to a different Runlinc as well. Okay, if we do allow that, so we could do that. Any other questions?
Yes, I believe with the knowledge of developing one traffic light, we can create another traffic light. Yes, it's the same structure of coding, right?
It is a similar structure, but remember that the timing needs to actually fit on both, because if you have 2 traffic lights out of sequence, then we have a problem. If it is actually a corner, then one needs to be red while the others are actually green and yellow. We don't want both of them to become green. We have an accident on our intersection.
It means we had to plan first, right?
Needs to be planned. That's right. The timing needs to be correct. I think everyone's going to have a better appreciation now of all the traffic lights.
Myro,
imagine you actually build traffic lights and you have a sequence of lights, everything is working, and then a pedestrian comes and presses the button they want to cross. What happens next? You know, this is also lots of things that the controllers need to make sure that the lights don't create an accident, either for the pedestrian or nor for the cars either.
Currently, our traffic light is using, I think, PLC, programmable logic controller. Like it is an electrical appliance, not an electronic appliance like Runlinc, right?
So inside the PLC is also a controller similar to the Runlinc controller as well. It's just the PLC is packaged inside a box so that everything is
the same.
Yeah.
Myro, there is a question there. Is the board able to be powered from a battery pack?
Yes, it is. It is able to be powered from a battery pack. Let me. I don't Let me just see if I can go and quickly and just get the battery pack so that you can see what the battery pack also looks like. Okay, let me just get that. It's in the other room. I don't have one on the table.
That kit need to be powered by something. Quite interesting for today's lesson by Myro.
Okay, so I have a kit of parts here. I think in this one I have batteries, but this is what the battery pack actually looks like. Okay, let me see if I can put that in the camera. So there are 3 batteries and there is a 3-pin connector, because what we did is actually that connector can go either way because the red one is in the middle. Okay, so that you can't get that wrong. Okay, you don't want to cause any damage. And on the kits, there is actually like 3 pins, and this can go in. And then on the Runlinc, because it is on Wi-Fi, then the Wi-Fi will continue to be connected even if the USB is disconnected from the kit. Okay, so next time I'll get some batteries and I will also show you how that works, because I don't have any batteries here at the moment. But that's a good question, and it's also very good for Runlinc as well that it stays connected, because we also have some projects where we take the kits and also we can take it away from the computer and it'll keep running also, so that we can do projects. For example, if we're testing temperatures in different parts of the room, etc., we can do that too. Any other questions?
From the chat, Prof, from the chat.
Is the kits still accessible through the Runlinc site? If normally the kits and the Runlinc actually work together through the site on the local network, but I've made it international. But yes, it is still accessible on the network. So the Runlinc will work as long as it has power, then it will actually power and access everything too. So you can have the Runlinc controller doing something up on your roof and have it connected through your page, and you can reprogram it or whatever. It doesn't need to be wired in, but it needs to have power. Yeah.
We still can use a hotspot from our handphone, right?
Yes, you can use a hotspot either on a hotspot from the laptop or from your phone, or even from a Wi-Fi hub. So the Wi-Fi hub can be configured as a hotspot too.
Okay. As long as they are using the same Wi-Fi.
As long as it uses the same Wi-Fi name, so that they connect. Yeah.
All right.
Again, in fact, in a classroom, it's usually useful just to have a Wi-Fi hub, and then the hub can serve many students, for example, yes.
Okay.
Or sometimes on the hub, you can add another extra hotspot to serve for that purpose.
Now we know that Runlinc can make a robot now. A moving robot.
Yes. It can definitely make a robot, but the robot can also send the signals back to the computer too, and you can have a graph on your computer on your HTML display. You can have data from the robot, okay, from the remote robot, because it's still connected across on the Wi-Fi.
Oh, okay. We just have to figure out the motor use for the output, for the input, right?
So how we turned on and off the lights today is how you could also turn on and off motors, because if you turn on and off LEDs, you can also turn on and off motors too. Yeah. And in fact, the Stemsel Runlinc controller actually has drivers, and it can run a motor in fact, inside our kit, we do include a motor, which you can just connect directly. So this is a motor in our kit, and this will just connect directly to the outputs as
Myro,
well.
what's the voltage output voltage for the kit from the kit?
The output voltage of the kit is the same as the input voltage, the 5 volts if it's on a USB, or the battery voltage, which is 4.5 volts on the 3 batteries. But the controller also can connect, for example, to 12 volts. And if you do that, then the output voltage will also be 12 volts. We did that because then the controller can also be used in cars. So, for example, the car runs on 12 volts, so you need to power it on 12 volts. So there are, in fact, some industrial applications where the controller is used in cars, even for putting the height of the car up and down. Okay, there was a person here who does changes cars, and he wrote a book about using the Stemsel controller to be able to do that. Any other questions? Okay, very good. I hope you all enjoyed today's session.
Yes, very much.
Very good. Okay, thank you very much. And next week, just before we end, I'll just tell you about next week. Next week will be a little bit different, because next week I will show you that you can actually make a phone app with a special page which we constructed with Runlinc without having to do any code. And this page will also save your HTML website, and you can share it as well. Okay, you will be able to share it. But I will also show you that you can add HTML code to actually put more features onto this as well. And this is the project A4, which is the A4 storytelling app. The storytelling app, in fact, also includes the AI voice. So it will have a voice come out as well. So this can be used on a laptop or on a phone. Okay, so we all look forward to that. Thank you very much for this week. Thank you.
Thank you, Myro.
Thank you very much, Prof. Miro. And I think there's a chat room there was questions that said that she tried to make the poll but can't attach to the traffic light. Maybe Prof. Miro can answer this.
Okay, just now I tried to attach my poll and I had some difficulty. So what I will do is I'm going to post the solution to you on there as well. And when I post the solution, it'll be a JSON file, which I'll send a text file, which you can copy, but also I'll send a JSON file, which you can also load into your Runlinc directly. Okay.
So another question is the Runlinc kit address is private or public can access it?
The Runlinc kit address. Okay, the Runlinc kit address is usually on the local network, and there is no access from the internet, but I have created a special link to my network just for today and for the purposes of being able to demonstrate and teach. So usually you just use it on the local network, so there is no access at all, but you can make it public and then you can share that. And also I can disconnect that very quickly as well. I can just turn off my connection and that's finished.
Okay, thank you very much, Prof. Miro, and thanks for answering all the questions. And I hope you all enjoyed these amazing presentations. With that, we conclude that the webinar for today. And for your kind information, we will have the next sessions on 30 July. Thank you for all attending this webinar. We really hope you have learned and enjoyed these presentations. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Myro.
Okay, thank you.